A Ghanaian man has sent strong message to UK Prime Minister. You know, UK, they colonized Nigeria and Ghana. So this guy now sent him a very strong message that I would like to share so that when I go follow me here, this news.
Oil exploration firm Tullow has announced that it has commenced fresh drilling operations on the Jubilee field. The move, which is part of Tullow's 2-year program aimed at boosting oil production from the Jubilee area, will increase government's revenue from the sector. Here's more in the following report.
Well, order that is changing from multilateral rules-based systems to unilateral and transactional relationships. We're proud of our partnership with the European Union.
The day Nigeria gets it right, that is the day Africa wakes up. If Africa is going to realize the potential, the positive aspects of our culture must be given their pride of place.
With a wavelength in the continent of Africa that has to do with so many countries in the continent of Africa, from North, South, East, West, and Central Africa. A lot of countries' citizens, their leaders, their government, especially the citizens, are really keen on their interactions, their transactions, their cooperations with international bodies based on the movement from Burkina Faso in the continent of Africa against the Westerners, the Europeans, like the colonizers in a nutshell, coming to indirectly or forcefully take what rightly belongs to us as Africans, especially in the area of our mineral resources. This has been trending for quite some time now as a result of what we have seen several attempts in the country Burkina Faso against the president from the Western countries, right? And guys, just of recent, as we recorded in the motherland Ghana, of the government of Ghana in collaboration with the European Union based on their visit, very recent visit in the motherland, which is in terms of their mineral resources. This has sparked up a lot of curiosity, argument, debate, support, and all whatnot. But it is not only applicable to Ghana, but so many other countries in the continent of Africa to see to the fact that despite the fact that we want to own our resources, manage them, it is inevitable also that we cannot overrule the presence of foreigners from the Western European British countries in transacting with them, because we cannot own our resources, mine them, and use them all by ourselves. There must be foreign exchange transactions with international body to build our economy and build our resources. But the point should be on the grounds that they are not in control of the economy and should not be in control of our resources or dictate for us how we as countries, citizens in the continent of Africa should live our life and manage our resources in a nutshell. This has been the bone of contention and will always be the bone of contention. And as a matter of fact, in this video, I've got videos put together that centers on it and how the visit of the European Union in the motherland just recently went down. And as well, so many different opinions from Ghanaians, different country citizens in the continent of Africa. What do you think about this notion, this movement in a nutshell of making proper adequate sure that every country in Africa stands right and gets it right once and for all? And with that, we've got a comment from a great orator and personality who stated that if Nigeria gets it right, Africa will be great. Just like every other country are gearing up, warming up, standing up and fighting for nothing but a common goal of getting it right. And this is no fight for discrimination, racism, intimidation or whatever, but standing for our right as citizens and country in the continent of Africa. So let's get this notion straight without sentiment, emotions and bias. Let's take a look at these video clips put together based on reaction and analysis. Watch patiently to the end. Give this video a huge and a massive thumbs up, and I will see you at the end of this video.
When Thomas Sankara was president, he was surrounded by enemies, and France didn't like revolutionary leaders, especially from the French colony. History will tell us that the president of Ivory Coast, Felix Houphouët-Boigny, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but Felix Houphouët-Boigny played a significant role in bringing down Thomas Sankara. And not only that, this same Houphouët-Boigny played a significant role in bringing out Nkrumah years earlier, before he brought down Thomas Sankara. This is the president of Ivory Coast. Just 2 weeks ago, Ibrahim Ibrahim Traore talked about how his intelligence has traced back to Ivory Coast in terms of them plotting a coup against him. So it looks like when we come to Africa, the hub for bringing down revolutionary leaders is Ivory Coast. That would be my conclusion when I dissect history, right? So Houphouët-Boigny played a significant role in bringing down Thomas Sankara. But around all that time when Thomas Sankara was facing all his difficulties, for that tragic day, before the day of the coup, his only ally was Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, his only ally, which is Burkina Faso, which was Ghana. Ghana was his only ally. Burkina Faso is landlocked. So if they are surrounded by enemies, it's very, very dangerous for them. They are very, very appreciative of Jerry John Rawlings for having the back of Thomas Sankara at that time. Now, do you know that this same Felix Houphouët-Boigny, this same Ivory Coast, he had a nickname, the master manipulator and destabilizer on the continent. He played a major and a key role in bringing down a lot of revolutionary leaders on the continent. He was the president of Ivory Coast. Blaise Compaoré, who was a close associate of Thomas Sankara, Felix Houphouët-Boigny, when he did his bid and killed Thomas Sankara, yes, he became president, one of the wealthiest presidents in Africa. But then he went into exile into Ivory Coast. So this same Ivory Coast, 38 years down the line, now is being used as a hub to target Captain Ibrahim Traore. So when I was reading this, I got goosebumps, like, wait a minute.
A Ghanaian man has sent strong message to UK Prime Minister. You know, UK, they colonized Nigeria and Ghana. So this guy now sent him a very strong message that I would like to share so that when I go follow me here, this news.
UK Prime Minister, I want to address you. I don't blame you. I blame our leaders who sat down for you to steal our resources. I blame the people who allowed you to deceive them to take majority of our resources into your country to rebuild your country. I blame the elders who sat down to be deceived, to be thinking that you were about to help us. And today, after stealing all our resources and making your country better, you have the guts, you have the right to tell Africans that it is a privilege. You are lucky some of us are not the president. I would have told you harsher words this morning. UK Prime Minister, nobody's afraid of you. I love my country, Ghana. And I think that if we have empowered leaders, they'll be able to say no. We still have leaders who would act like Kwame Nkrumah, who would reject those imperialism, who will reject new forms of colonization. But telling us that it is a privilege, we will tell you very soon that it is also a privilege to live in Africa. And I think that it is time for African leaders to just sit up and tell every white man here that, hey, it is a privilege to stay in Africa. It is not a right. When would we have African leaders who just get up and say that, all you, USA, UK, whoever, it is time for you to realize that living in Africa is a right, it is a privilege and not a right. Gone were the days when you say some of these nonsense, we'll be shaking. But we have a new form of Africa. We have certain leaders who are rising up to the occasion and telling some of you to shut up. USA can say it, I don't care. But for UK, we are aware of how you stole our resources. We are aware. So UK ambassador to Ghana, please, we are not afraid of you. And I know that maybe the president will tell you, but some of us, we are not afraid of you. We don't need your country to survive. I don't need to come to UK to survive. I don't need you to survive. You rather need us. If African leaders are truthful to themselves,
the day Nigeria gets it right, that is the day Africa wakes up. If Africa is going to realize the potential, the positive aspects of our culture must be given their pride of place. Those of you who are from Nigeria, I've said it times without number when I'm in Nigeria, whether I'm in Nasarawa or in Kaduna or in Anambra or in Bayelsa, I keep on saying the day Nigeria gets it right, that is the day Africa wakes up. You only have to read the story of the early years of Nigeria during the days of the great Zik of Africa. Many of you do not know that Nnamdi Azikiwe was called the great Zik of Africa because he loved the continent, as indeed did Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. And you may not know, you Nigerians, in 1970, the king of Saudi Arabia was sick and went to be treated at the hospital in Ibadan.
I want to send a warning to my fellow Nigerians. Yes, I'm a Nigerian, even though I don't think 1% like a Nigerian. I want to send this message to you people, whether you people like it or not. If you like, listen. If you don't like, listen. But go and check the messages that I've always made. People are beginning to talk about it. People are beginning to draw their messages from the things I had postulated for a very long time. Listen to me, Nigerians. Anybody that fights against Ghanaians or Ghana is laying a curse on himself. I am not being spiritual about these things. I am not a religious person. I'm a logical person, and I'll prove it. Anybody that speaks against a Ghanaian is laying a curse on himself. Ghanaians are peacemakers. They are peaceful people. Let me tell you who peacemakers are, and let me tell you their mathematical intonation and the frequency charges of peacemakers. Peacemakers are the sons of God. They are angels. Do you know why they said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God? You think it's just the Bible? It is not the Bible. It is not about Christianity, bro. I don't even go to church. I don't go to church. I don't believe in any Nigerian pastor except Dr. Abel. I don't go to church. But you see the Bible. The Bible does not mean to me what it means to other people. The Bible is a code. In fact, the importance of the Bible was hidden. The secret of the Bible was hidden using English language. If I interpret the Bible in its default language, it is a code. That is why you see me bubbling. It is a code. The knowledge I have well, I don't want to preach. Let me tell you something. Let's connect this. Peace is the only evidence that shows that heaven is in you. That's why when Ghanaian says God lives in Ghana, it means that Ghana is the kingdom of God, and those who dwell in the kingdom of God are known as what? The sons of God. That's why they say, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. I bet your pastors never told you this. This is not spirituality. It's not religion. This is logic. This is logic. If you speak against a Ghanaian, see, share this everywhere. A lot of people are witnessing this. If you speak against a Ghanaian, you are laying a curse on yourself. That is what they have amounted to. Let me tell you something. If you want peace in your life as a Nigerian or from any other part of African country right now, go and make a Ghanaian your friend. Simple. Or marry one.
Oil exploration firm Tullow has announced that it has commenced fresh drilling operations on the Jubilee field. The move, which is part of Tullow's 2-year program aimed at boosting oil production from the Jubilee area, will increase government's revenue from the sector. Here's more in the following report.
According to Tullow Oil, the upcoming campaign will be rolled out in phases beginning in May 2025, with additional activity scheduled for November and extending into 2026. It argues that we're building on previous high-performance records, taking drilling management to new heights throughout the project. The exploration firm in the notice added that this new campaign follows the completion of previous drilling program, which ended in December 2024. This, Tullow says, delivered 18 new wells, 6 months ahead of schedule, and it was below budget. The earlier campaign noted that the managing director of Tullow Oil Ghana, Jean Madama, has also stated that this move shows that Tullow Oil remains confident in Ghana's resource base. The announcement by Tullow Oil is coming at a time that production from the country's oil fields have been declining over the past month. Therefore, for some, this should come as good news for stakeholders and even government.
Now, President John Mahama has underscored the importance of enhanced trade relations between Ghana and the European Union, describing it as a critical step toward deeper economic cooperation. Speaking at the 2025 Ghana-EU Business Forum in Accra, the president noted that the EU remains one of Ghana's key trading partners, with imports from Ghana totaling approximately $3.25 billion in recent figures.
A world order that is changing from multilateral, rules-based systems to unilateral and transactional relationships. We're proud of our partnership with the European Union. Our trade relationship with the European Union remains robust and mutually beneficial. According to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade, in 2024, the EU imported approximately $3.25 billion worth of goods from Ghana and exported a total of $3.65 billion worth of goods to Ghana. It is worth mentioning overall that Ghana's total exports in 2024 reached a high of 294.9 billion Ghana cedis, which approximately stands at $20.4 billion US. And Ghana recorded a trade surplus overall of 44.7 billion Ghana cedis. 3 commodities accounted for over 82% of our total exports, and these are gold, at 163 billion Ghana cedis, mineral fuels and oil at 54.2 billion Ghana cedis, and cocoa and other related products at 28.6 billion Ghana cedis. In the first quarter of 2025, we've already recorded a 13% increase in non-traditional exports, such as processed foods, textiles, and shea butter, reflecting the positive impact of government-backed industrial policies and renewed market access to the EU.
President has attributed the recent appreciation of the cedi to prudent policy decisions by the government.
The Ghanaian cedi, which depreciated by 19.2% in 2024, has shown signs of recovery, appreciating by 3.9% against the US dollar by the end of April 2025. This has been supported by stronger forex inflows, improved trade balances, and growing investor confidence. Our gross international reserves have improved further from $8.98 billion in December 2024 to $10.6 billion by April 2025. This is equivalent to almost 5 months of import cover. This reflects enhanced export earnings, particularly from gold and non-traditional exports, as well as timely disbursements from our multilateral partners. Fiscal consolidation is underway. We reduced the fiscal deficits on commitment basis from 7.5% of GDP in 2024 to 6.4% in the first half of 2025. And we're on track to meet our 2025 target end year of 3.1% through expenditure rationalization, improved domestic revenue mobilization, and strong anti-corruption measures. These figures, though early in the year, are clear signs of a disciplined and inclusive economic recovery.
The Bank of Ghana has assured that it remains committed to reviewing the cash reserve ratio for commercial banks. In 2024, the central bank implemented monetary measures that required banks to hold a significant portion of their deposits, including foreign currency accounts, with the regulator. The move has impacted lending activities and increased the cost of holding foreign currencies. Dr. Mumuni Zachary, First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, explains further.
Well, policy is not a static, event. It's a dynamic one, and we look at the numbers at all times to take one decision or the other. The assurance, though, is that we are looking at the numbers again, and if it becomes necessary that some adjustments are made, those will be made. But let me add quickly that with the current trajectory of the developments on the foreign exchange market, it's even better for them, requiring them to keep for the reserves in cedis. So what it means is that with the cedi appreciating, they are actually required to back the foreign currency deposits they have with less and less cedis. So in this particular case, I'm sure you will not get anyone, really complain. But we are looking at the numbers, and if the numbers, show that there should be any adjustments, why not? We will not hesitate at all.
12% inflation end of the year. Yeah, someone is saying that it is quite an ambitious target. How do you respond to those who say that, yes, because if I look at the data from the IMF, the World Bank, and all these external institutions, they are more moderate to their projections. What do you tell those who are saying that it's too ambitious?
I don't see it exactly as being too ambitious. It is something that is within reach, perhaps even better. If you look at, again, what is happening, currently on our markets, that just, gives, you would have also seen our policy stance again. I keep mentioning this, and it's all linked. Now, aside that, you will also see that there are also some steps that are being taken to deal with the food side of it.
Now, Ghanaians could see a significant reduction in the cost of living and doing business starting next week, as the Ghana Private Road Transport Union has agreed to cut transport fares by 15% effective this Saturday. George Afi has more in the following report.
The Ghana Private Road Transport Union, at a meeting with their members yesterday morning, agreed to reduce fares by 15%. General Secretary of the union, Godfred Bobere, told Joy Business that they agreed on this margin of reduction before going to brief the Transport Minister about this development yesterday afternoon. So if these unionized transport operators do go ahead to reduce fares, as announced, that could bring some relief to businesses and individuals. This is because for a lot of individuals, their transport budget constitutes one of their biggest spending items. We should also not forget about how this development could also impact positively on marginal reduction in prices of some food items on the market, and how that could also go a long way to slow inflation in the coming months. For businesses, it could help in reducing their cost of transporting goods to their factories, and how that could also affect their budget going forward. We should also not forget about the reduction in prices of petroleum products and how that could impact positively on the cost of doing business in the country.
Yo, ATF.
Very glad that she's here with us this morning. Their Excellencies, the ambassadors of the 10 European Union member states resident here in Ghana, Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Malta, Netherlands, and Spain. If you could give us a diplomatic wave, please, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much to all of you for being here. To those of you who traveled from far and wide, from other countries and continents to join us here this morning, welcome, Akwaba. We're so glad to have you here in Ghana. And if you traveled from Kaswa as well, welcome and good morning to you. For those of you joining us in cyberspace, we're very
pleased to mention it, renewable energy. And there is a huge potential in Ghana. We have technology in the European Union. We have financial schemes that can help de-risk investment. We have the European Investment Bank and other national development banks engage in supporting infrastructure and renewable projects, be it in solar or wind. We have ongoing important projects in hydro too. Just to mention one, together with France, Germany, and the European Investment Bank, in a real Team Europe spirit, we are ready to support with 135 million the development of NetCo, as well as expanding the distribution network in the north of the country. Again, one of the projects we see as game changer. And we also stand ready when the fiscal space of the country will allow to engage into rehabilitation of the Kom Dam. And I'm very happy that in 2 days' time I will have the opportunity to visit the dam. So all these interventions to give you a hint of the type of support the European Union can provide to Ghana in fields of joint interest. But of course, we have many more projects that could be developed. On top of this, as I mentioned, we want to support you in securing a conducive business environment, and we are also offering you to seal a sustainable investment facilitation agreement if you would be interested, as a testament of the cooperation and the accessibility and recognition of the business environment to increase trade between the European Union and Ghana. Last but not least, the new projects. I'm happy to announce 3 new initiatives that will take root, one of which we'll sign later today, but that will really start being implemented in the near future. One on the crucial challenge of youth employment, and this is one leg of the regional program Investing in Young Business in Africa, a program that is implemented in a Team Europe approach with the EIB, EBRD, and 10 member states, and will allow supporting young entrepreneurs in the very difficult first phase of their activity so as to secure sustainable jobs and business creation via the youth and women-led organizations. Another one in agriculture on the Better program with France, and also on business development, the Green Digital Inclusive Private Sector Development Program with Germany and the Netherlands. So a panoply of forthcoming initiatives, and I very much hope that in the coming period, and sooner rather than later, we'll see concrete implementation and concrete benefit for the citizens of Ghana. Your European one that would improve your ability to invest in Ghana. And we stand ready to continue discussing policy reforms, and from the European Union side, see how we could support policy reform or structural measures or devise support measures to increase concretely investment and trade in the country. We have recent and forthcoming good examples of this cooperation, and I'm happy to be able to announce a few of them in the key fields you have identified. In agriculture, I would like to refer to the pleasure we had basically a year ago to inaugurate the fact that we had developed 670 kilometers of feeder roads in the northern part of the country. This is one important project for us, done together with France with a budget of 50 million euro. And we have another ongoing project for developing irrigation in the country, which I know is very dear to the heart of the minister and crucial for developing sustainable agri-value chains. On the field of health, Minister, you made reference to what we call our MAF Plus initiative, developing manufacturing access to vaccines and health products. We have made good progress. We are working hand in hand with the Food and Drug Administration on the legal framework and regulatory environment. I had the pleasure last year to visit the DEC facility, which is one concrete project under development. I just hope that the financial business plan for this project will finally be closed sooner rather than later, and that we can engage into full-fledged production, because I do believe the production of the vaccines that are foreseen by this specific project will be a game changer in Ghana for the positioning of Ghana as a health hub in the region, and also it's a scalable project. So if we collectively manage to secure the production of those, you can then amplify the impact with multiplication of other production. And as you know, following the COVID crisis, supporting the whole of the continent in getting sustainable in terms of vaccine production is one of the objectives of the European Union in the field of health. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, based on what the president of Ghana have said, according to the visit, as we have seen, we are clear and well enlightened about how well and how far the motherland Ghana has come with the European Union and other nations in collaboration, in transactions with their own economy to boost the growth, the success, and the development of the country. And I'm very sure that with the capacity, the intelligence, courage, and wisdom in the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, I am sure that wisdom is definitely going to lead him and see him through. President Mahama is one person that the whole world at least can count on at this point to say that yes, he is awake and he knows what the system is all about. He knows where we are coming from and where we are headed as a people and as a nation in the continent of Africa. And he will leave no stone unturned in making sure that all boundaries are in check and protected, even in the course of transacting, collaborating, or whatsoever we are doing with foreign bodies, right? And that is it. I don't know, this is my own personal opinion, observation. Let me know yours as well in the comment section. And as put together, we have heard rightly from other people's opinion what they think about Ivory Coast as a country and as a people right from time immemorial, the role they have been playing in Africa. And as well, on the other hand, we've heard what it is for Nigeria from this great man who has given us in-depth exposition about what is expected of Nigeria. But at the end of the day, we are still hopeful, right? Because it takes the effort, collective effort and responsibility of people, individuals, citizens, countries, leaders in different countries put together, over 54 countries in the continent of Africa, to stand up, get it right once and for all, for Africa to be great again. And it lies in my hands and in your hands and in the hands of everyone, as long as you are an African citizen. It doesn't matter your race, your color, as long as you're an African, it is up to you. It is up to each and every one of us indeed. Exactly, guys. This and more is what we have for today's episode. At this juncture, what do you think based on all we've seen here? Your honest opinion is welcomed in the comment section, constructively, respectfully in the comment section, because we are citizens of different countries in Africa, especially from the motherland. We have the right to air our opinion just the way it is in our hearts, and we stand to be corrected. Of course, nobody is an island and nobody is a monopoly of what? Monopoly of democracy. Yes, we are all in it together, right? That is it, and that is that. We'll draw the line here and I will see you in the comments. But please do not forget to hit on the like button if you are yet to do so. Share this video because I need more people to see the wavelength and the growth at which Africa is taking up in the world today. And let more people be on the know. Stay subscribed if you like it on here. Please don't make it your last. And keeping it real, happy, safe, and blessed, coming from the stable of Chiwiki Inspirations, aka the ambassador of the motherland Ghana, Oshe Bades. This is just as reported. Keeping it real, happy, safe, and blessed. And I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.